Hello, everyone. My Cherokee name is Braveheart. I've been called a lot of things, but what I was told was, see how my head and heart are one? Reading palms. For those of you in the know, you know I was born a medicine man. I have never charged nothing. Don't ask for nothing. I'm telling you that if you have a problem, I'm a fix-it man, I guess, of a sorts. Don't want any recognition. Don't want any money. Never have wanted money. I've been doing this all over the country, and I've done it in Europe too. St. Thomas too, actually. But I kind of, sort of, I've never met anybody like me, and Grandmother Nagi said I was unique amongst unique individuals. They said I was a one of a kind. What I'm saying to you is, what I want to do is I want to heal everybody. Everybody. This is me shouting out to all of you. Not trying to get rich. If I wanted to be rich, I would have been rich a long time ago. I've had my opportunities, and it's just not me. My astrological chart, even though I'm a Taurus, Capricorn, Aries, double earth, double fire, in my astrological chart, there is nothing in all three houses of the material plane of existence. That means I don't want money. My approach is flawed to say, to be nice. I'm saying my approach is flawed. But I've had some very important people say that I was gifted. And over the years, I've helped heal a whole bunch of people. I really have. It's not documented. It's not that I made a living off of it. I always counted on my hands to make a living. If you have a problem that doesn't seem to be easily gotten rid of, irregardless of how hard you try, contact me. If you want answers for bigger pictures, contact me. I call what I was raised Mormon, and then I went into other religions and everything like that, and they said God, and then I was made an honorary Muslim, and that's Allah, and I studied Buddha a little bit, and Buddhism, and they say Buddha, and even though Buddha said that I'm not a god, and they waited until he died before they said he was a god. He wasn't a god. He was just enlightened. Incredible man. Incredible. And then I have to talk to atheists. So when I say God, what I really mean is the all that is. To me, it's important to talk to everybody. Every single human being on the planet. I don't care who you are. I'm just saying that things could get better. And the way for humans to do better and become better, and what I call the transformation from Homo sapien to Homo superior, can be laid out. I mean, A lot of it's just common sense. Some of it's spiritual, which, you can't prove. I mean, it's just impossible. But maybe an atheist would see that we have electricity running through our body, and maybe electricity can be transferred from one human being to another. And, you know, I don't know what this is, but go away. Smartphone's smarter than me. Come on. Anyway, I want to heal people. It's in my whole DNA. I mean, I wanted to be normal for so long. I desired being normal, and I just couldn't be normal. I'm not normal. And I have to accept what I am. I could teach you so many different things. If you're just new on your journey, I might be able to help you a lot. Some of the people that have been on their journeys for as long as I have, they're a little bit harder to get to. But I think maybe I have some help for them too. We should share all of our information unbiasedly. The whole thing is love and energy, and the most powerful forces in the world are coming from the human heart, as far as I'm concerned. I mean, there may be other creatures that are better than us. I mean, Jesus, what is there, 600 billion stars in the Milky Way galaxy, and there's approximately 400 billion galaxies? There's got to be life elsewhere, but my personal belief is that we're quite a unique race, a species. And it may be possible that what's getting ready to happen to us has either never happened before in the history of the whole universe, or it's an extremely rare thing. But I believe that's what's getting ready to happen. And it'll kick off 2022, 2023. No man knows the hour, but a studious man will have an idea when it's coming. And I've been a studious man. I've had an insatiable curiosity for my whole life. Who, what, where, when, and how, all of those things I needed to know. I've read well over 10,000 books. And I've learned through the life of hard knocks a little bit about common sense. And then I find out that I'm using both of my hemispheres, my right and my left hemisphere. So maybe I can see things that a lot of people can't, How do I say this in a way where I don't come off as a braggart? Like I said, I don't know how to communicate properly with people. I wish I had half the ability that Mahatma Gandhi did. That'd be somebody right now. I'm just saying that as human beings, bacteria works together. They don't fight each other. They work together. And look what bacteria does. Can you imagine if the human race were to work together? I mean, we would transform the whole universe. Every bit of it. Trillions and trillions and trillions of universes or solar systems or galaxies, whatever you want to call them, would feel our effect. So taking baby steps, I'm putting out to everybody that I can help you in almost any situation. Um, it's, I've read palms, and I've done readings, and I've remote viewed. I've had prophecy. I've told people about their past, and I've had dreams that come true. And now I'm a dream walker. I can walk into your dream if it's important. I've done it. Natives say that that's the most powerful medicine there is. I disagree, respectfully. I'm saying that we're capable of doing much more than that. But as of right now, that's probably the most powerful thing that we can do. Because when you walk into somebody else's dream, you're sharing their soul, you're sharing their burden. And in my case, I alleviate the burdens. Now, I've been a really confused man all my life. I've been tortured from the time I was born. Um, Horrendous upbringing. Top of that, I was a white boy from Detroit. I mean, Eminem knows what I'm talking about. He went to Lincoln too. Yeah, I was right there at 8 Mile Road. Um, so I've lived a life of drug addiction, alcoholism, you name it. I've pretty much done it. Self-destructive it for many years, but it's made me see everything. I literally have been to hell, and I've literally been to heaven, and I mean that literally. And I see what it's like. I know what it's like, and I'm telling you, heaven's a lot better. It's so much lighter, and so much more positive, and so much more beautiful, and so much more expanding. Hell it represses you. It makes you stop, and you can't progress, and you're stuck, and you suffer. Unnameable stuff. You suffer it. And if I haven't experienced it firsthand, I've experienced it by proxy. So I've been there, and I've done that. This may sound like an awful lot of rigmarole to you guys, and you may think that I have a hidden agenda, but I don't. I just want to heal everybody. That's all I want to do. I've almost gone insane over this. I've lost touch with reality 3 times in my life because I've been working on this. But I tell you, I guess I've maintained a little bit of hope. Sometimes not very much, but I always had a little hope. I always see things for what they are, and that comes from being fooled so many times when I was young. So I have a little wisdom to me. It comes with this gray hair, you know. So in particular to you youngsters, who I'm actually really wanting to talk to is the Indigo children. I've talked to 7 of you and didn't have to use my mouth. If you're an Indigo child, you know exactly what I'm talking about. And I'm going to say 7 that I recognize because I'm quite certain I've met more than just 7. I'm using skunk medicine. Got it from my grandmother, Mama Warden. Yeah. Cherokee and Irish. Yep. She had the skunk. So do I. So I really don't want a whole bunch of unbelievers contacting me, but I'll listen. But it's such a waste of time to hear people saying, you can't get two people to agree on things. How can you get 6 billion people to agree on things, or 7 billion, whatever it is, 8 billion, whatever it is now? I disagree. I believe that we can get the vast majority of people to agree with a whole bunch of stuff. There's answers for almost everything, And I've lost some things that most of you would, the ones that have heard my story, they know. So as far as loss is concerned, I'm with you on it. I could probably feel any kind of loss that you've ever had. I can be emphatic about it. I have empathy for that, not just sympathy. I can feel the pain. So I'm hoping that maybe if I reach out to you guys, some of you may hear what I'm saying, and some of you may respond. You have to remember, I have no hidden agenda. I am what I am. What did Papa say? I am's what I am's, and that's all that I am's. That's me. That song Weirdo on America's Got Talent. I certainly understand that because I was called all those names. I was beat up because I was just strange and different. I mean, what kind of kid at the age of 7 decides he wants to learn how to be smart at everything, and he goes to the Thompson Elementary library the next day, and he picks out a book, and he says, well, I got to pick out a book that's really big because I need a lot of information. And his first book is a 6th grade edition of Greek mythology. Now, I was reading before I was ever in school. I was reading Dick and Jane, See Spot Run, you know, those kind of things. But the first book of substance I ever had was Greek mythology. Took me 3.5 weeks. I had to check it out twice. You're only allowed to check out a book for 2 weeks. And I had to check it out twice to be able to read that book. And it was illustrated, but it was 6th grade level, so it was tough for me to read. But I started reading after that. Music. Just about any kind of media you can think of. I love music. Music saved my life. I did things that my siblings still don't know about music. WXYZ. They had a contest, and I guess it was 1968 or something like that, after I guess it was their 20th anniversary. They had a $5,000 gold bar, and they had a bunch of like 1.5 second quips of music, and I think there was like 17, 18 of them, and you had to guess in order who it was and what the name of the song was. Well, for 2 weeks, I had the answers. I was going on my rotary phone. We're talking about ancient history here to you youngsters. But, I mean, that's how much I was into music. I mean, it saved my life, and I really paid attention. Movies, commercials. A funny one about commercials. Everybody knows the Oscar Mayer Wiener song, but there was a commercial that was put on, I guess just for a couple months. It was the antithesis. The normal one was, oh, I wish I were an Oscar Mayer Wiener. That is what I truly like to be. 'Cause if I were an Oscar Mayer Wiener, everyone would be in love with me. And there was always this boy that was being bullied by this girl, and going into her parades. She would have these parades about Oscar Mayer Wieners, you know. Well, one time he came up with his own song, and this is the truth. His song was, Oh, I'm glad I'm not an Oscar Mayer wiener. That is what I never want to be. 'Cause if I were an Oscar Mayer wiener, that would be the end of me. And then the girl comes around the corner of the fence and she gives him that, like I'm going to punch you in the head. And he starts singing, oh, I wish I were an Oscar Mayer wiener. Most of you older people probably still don't remember that commercial. It was only showed for a little while, but I paid attention. I always did. People that know me say I don't miss much. And I was initially um, diagnosed with ADHD. But the fact that I can concentrate, and I mean intensely, means that I'm not. So what they finally figured out was I was hyper aware and hyper alert. And I proved that to a really gorgeous woman from Saint Sauveur, Quebec, Canada. When we walked into a crowd, there was about 150 people. And I had told her previously, before we walked into the place, that I could point out people that were going to cause trouble in seconds. She laughed at me and said I was wrong. And we walked into this place, and I said, him and him. Within 3 or 4 seconds. And then we sat down, and guess who comes up and starts giving me a hard time? Is it the fact that I'm hyper aware, hyper alert, or was my signal sent out to them saying, hey, this guy thinks we're trouble, so let's go cause trouble? Who knows? Carl Gustav Jung talked about a monster that showed up every 500 years, only for one day to play on the surface of the lake. I don't remember all the details, but the last time it occurred, over 10,000 people showed up. This is a long time ago. This is in the 1800s, I guess, or something like that. I don't know. Might have been early 20th century. 18 something, 19 something, I don't know. But anyway, 10,000 people plus showed up, and guess what? The monster showed up. And his question was this: was it more likely that a monster that shows up every 500 years on the exact same day and it plays around on the surface for everybody to see for one day and then disappears again for another 500 years? Or was it more likely that 10,000 people showed up and created this monster? It's a good question. Yeah. My studies have taken me all over the place. Isaac Asimov is my literary hero. The advocate for the truth is Mahatma Gandhi. Yep. I don't know about you youngsters, but if you don't know who Isaac Asimov was, in 1972, he was proclaimed to be the most published writer in the history of mankind. He's not like Stephen King. Stephen King's got a supercomputer, and he punches in a storyline, and the computer basically writes the story, and then he just tweaks it. No, Isaac Asimov did not have a ghostwriter, did not have computers, did not have a secretary, did not have anything like that. He had 6 typewriters. And each one had a story in a particular phase of its development. If you youngsters, if you saw Will Smith in I, Robot, Isaac Asimov wrote that in 1951. This guy had 2 PhDs. He had 4 honorary PhDs. And he wrote almost 600 novels. And I forget how many other articles he wrote. And he was a full-time professor at an Ivy League school. The whole time. How in the hell can somebody do that? Millions and millions and millions of words in print. In 1972, his novels configured approximately 8 million words of fiction and 8 million words of nonfiction. He lived another 20 years. I don't know what he did. Yep, I have no clue. That's my literary hero. My psychology hero is Carl Gustav Jung, if you haven't figured that one out yet. He had his feet firmly planted on the ground. Now, Freud He was a hell of a pioneer, but he was a sick bastard. He was a sexual deviant. So I kind of sort of don't pay attention to him too much. Carl Jung, he was born the son of a preacher, poor, and in the 1800s, he worked his way through a Ivy League college. Unheard of. He worked his way through. How in the hell did he do that? And then do as well as he did. How does somebody do that? It doesn't seem feasible. It doesn't seem possible. But these are the guys that I call my heroes. Jesus Christ is my hero. Buddha is my hero. Muhammad is my hero. And there was another guy in the Arab world, 600 BC. I can't remember his name, but the things that he accomplished. My heroes. The ones that stood out. In 1908, a man with a piece of paper and a pencil in his hand came up with a mathematical solution to measuring things that are not possible to be measured. It's called fractals. I forget what his name is, but it took a supercomputer for us to figure out what the hell he was talking about. I mean, these are the things. These are the things that have always impressed me. I was harassed by that woman from Canada because I always thought, who's the biggest? Who's the best? And you know, what did they do? And how do you improve on what they did? And she thought that was silly, but it's not. I have things inside my head that I dare not say over the telephone because some people would consider it heresy or even worse. So I keep those things to myself. But I want you to know that this is just me. And if I can help you in any way, I'd be more than glad to. I don't want anybody left behind. Time's coming. If you're wise, you'll look around and you'll see. Anyway, you all take care of yourselves and be nice to each other. Be kind. Try one time to look in the mirror and say, hey, what am I doing wrong? What am I doing right? And don't be nice to yourself and don't be mean to yourself. Just look at yourself. And sometime when you're in a situation where somebody's getting hurt because they have a different point of view than you do, try to walk a mile in their footsteps and maybe you can understand what's going on. And here's how we can learn to cooperate with each other just by listening. You know, trying to understand. So if your leaders are saying anything besides coexistence, loving each other, getting along, working together, compassion, if they're not saying these things, they're wrong. If they're saying you must kill these people because you can't believe these people because we're the right ones, not them. We're the chosen ones, not them. Ours is the only way. If they're saying that, they're wrong. If they were right, here's how you can prove it. They would have changed the world. The world would have been beautiful. Ain't nobody done it yet. Nobody's got it right yet. And I'm telling you, there is a pathway to this. There is. So expand your minds. Be curious. Who, what, why, where, when, and how. Ask those questions. You gotta know. I'm not asking you to do this. I'm not trying to force anybody to do anything. But I defy anybody to defeat my reasoning because I come from a good place. In my heart, I come from a good place. I've paid my price for it too, let me tell you. And I'm going to tell you that if you decide to take these steps, it's going to be a hard one. It ain't going to be easy. It ain't the way to find happiness on this plane of existence, that's for sure. You can look at my face and you can look at my eyes and you can see I'm telling you the truth. I ain't lying. So please be kind to each other. I don't care if they're your mortal enemy. Don't be stupid and foolish and all that, you know. I'm just saying, with discernment, with wisdom, try to get along with everybody. Try to figure it a way, even if it makes you angry as hell. Lord knows I've been angry. God gave me really thick skin and really thick bones because he knew I was going to be in trouble when I came down here. But to you, my friends, every single one of you, all 7 billion of you, to the best of my ability, I'm sending you my love. And I want to coexist with you. And I want to cooperate with you. I want to see your side. I hope you see my side. And maybe we can get along and maybe we can do something really fantastic instead of all this horrible stuff. I mean, is there anything wrong with that? Anybody? All right. I have to figure out how to stop this. I've been talking for 30 minutes. Maybe it's this. If so, y'all take care. Sprechen Sie Deutsch. Parlez-vous français? Ciao. Namaste. Konnichiwa. Ni hao ma. Annyeonghaseyo. Je t'aime, ma chérie. To all the French-speaking ladies. You're all beautiful. Most beautiful thing God ever created was the female form. Oof. Nothing prettier. Y'all take care of yourselves now. And take care of your neighbors. All right, peace.